This is the world's most heavily secured convoy. The security being provided to it is considered even more critical than that of the US president. Through this convoy, a weapon is being transported from one location to another. If this convoy were attacked during transportation, the world's most dangerous weapon could fall into the wrong hands, causing damage not just to one country but to the entire world. That is why no compromise of any kind can be made on its security. How does a superpower like the United States transport its nuclear weapons, what these convoys look like, and how federal agents handle the situation if an attack occurs? Once again, welcome viewers to USA Doc Videos. There are 12,515 nuclear weapons in the world, out of which 41% are owned by the United States of America alone. These weapons are spread across every corner of America. The active weapons are deployed with the U.S. Air Force, the military, and the Navy's submarines. However, thousands of these weapons are kept in storage mode, meaning they are backup weapons distributed across North America. The question is, why are nuclear weapons kept dispersed instead of stored in one place? Nuclear weapons are always spread out and hidden in different parts of the country, and this information is extremely sensitive. This is done so that the enemy cannot disable them all through a single attack. The advantage of dispersing them is that even if the enemy launches an attack, it cannot destroy all nuclear weapons at once. In this way, some nuclear weapons remain available for self-defense. Now, if nuclear weapons are already stored in secure locations, why is there a need to transport them from one place to another? The biggest reason is maintenance. Just as maintenance of conventional military weapons is essential, nuclear weapons also require constant maintenance. Obviously, weapons are not used all the time, and when they remain unused for long periods, their mechanical parts can deteriorate. In addition, it is especially important to continuously monitor the condition of plutonium or uranium inside nuclear weapons, so that when the time comes to use them, they function properly. Keeping all these factors in mind, nuclear weapons are installed at strategic locations, but their maintenance is carried out at facilities located at central locations. In the case of the USA, a separate federal agency exists for the security and maintenance of all nuclear weapons, known as the National Nuclear Security Administration. There can be several other reasons to remove nuclear weapons from strategic locations, such as security concerns. If intelligence agencies receive information that the location of nuclear weapons has been compromised or leaked, they are immediately relocated. The areas where nuclear weapons are stored are protected by extremely strict and flawless security, making it impossible for anyone to even wander nearby without authorization. However, when these weapons need to be shifted from one location to another, a weapon capable of destroying an entire city in seconds is transported through the same roads that ordinary people use every day. While it remains hidden in a remote location, the risk is minimal, but once it comes onto public roads, its security becomes far more complicated. To address this challenge, the U.S. government has established an entire agency whose sole responsibility is the security of nuclear weapons. The military convoy you are seeing is commonly used in the United States to transport nuclear weapons from one location to another. At first glance, this massive convoy looks like the security detail of a high-profile VIP, to the extent that an ordinary person cannot even imagine such a level of security. The size of the convoy can vary, as it depends on how large the nuclear weapon is and where it is being transported. At the front and along the convoy are police vehicles whose job is to clear traffic and ensure smooth passage through busy roads. Between these police vehicles are the actual convoy vehicles. These trucks move side by side at a specific distance and formation and are known as BearCat vehicles. Calling them merely bulletproof would be an understatement, as they are far more secure than that. Each armored vehicle carries 4 to 6 federal agents whose job is to protect the convoy and immediately launch a counterattack if necessary. You can see small ports or openings on these armored vehicles that allow agents to fire from inside without exposing themselves. These agents are not ordinary personnel, but highly trained commandos equipped with handguns, shotguns, assault rifles, and millions of rounds of ammunition. If the situation escalates further, automatic machine guns are also mounted on top of the armored vehicles. However, all these weapons are only used in the event of a serious threat. If a nuclear weapons transport truck is ever attacked, During normal transport operations, these agents monitor even the smallest details and continuously share information with each other. The convoy vehicles remain connected via radio communication, which operates on 3 different channels. On one channel, all armored vehicles coordinate with each other in the event of an attack. On the second channel, the agents inside the armored vehicles receive updates related to the convoy and standard operating procedures. According to standard protocols, a nuclear convoy must consist of armored vehicles, typically with 5 main trucks, while 2 additional armored vehicles move 1 kilometer ahead of the main convoy. After every few minutes, the main convoy checks the situation with these 2 armored vehicles. The purpose of dividing communication into separate channels is to ensure that if attackers jam one radio frequency or disrupt the main convoy's communication, the 2 vehicles in front can use a separate channel to call for help. In addition to this, the entire convoy remains connected on another channel with an emergency control center. The role of the control center staff is to continuously monitor the convoy and, in case of an emergency, immediately arrange backup forces. If such a situation arises, the additional forces dispatched by the control center establish contact with the convoy escorts under a strict and predefined SOP. Whether these additional forces are from the police or the military, the control center communicates with both units using separate code words through encrypted radio links. Upon arrival at the scene, neither force trusts the other until the secret codes provided to both sides are matched. This procedure exists solely to prevent attackers from impersonating police officers and gaining access to nuclear weapons. This is just one of countless SOPs in place for every possible scenario. The truck designed to handle any emergency situation is also far from ordinary, because it is the core reason for all this security. The truck used to transport nuclear weapons is completely customized and specially designed for this purpose alone. The truck's body is made of hardened steel, on which common cutting tools are ineffective. It cannot be cut with grinders, drilling machines do not work on it, and even in the event of an accident, its body does not crack. Even if the truck is exposed to fire, its structure can protect the nuclear weapon inside for several hours. When it comes to the driver's cabin, it is both bulletproof and bomb-proof, and its doors can only be opened from the inside, regardless of circumstances. While the truck's strength protects it from attackers, it also has one drawback. Its weight is significantly higher than a normal truck, approximately 25,000 kilograms. Because of this heavy weight, in the event of an attack, the truck cannot move at high speed nor take sharp turns. However, this very weakness conceals another critical security feature. If attackers somehow manage to seize control of the truck and attempt to move it away, explosives installed on the truck's axle will detonate, causing the wheels to detach and the truck to collapse onto the ground. Due to its immense weight, dragging the truck without wheels becomes virtually impossible. As for the nuclear weapon inside the truck, even the convoy escorts themselves do not have access to open its container. The container is secured with electronic locks, and the electronic keys are held exclusively by the National Nuclear Security Administration. Even if someone were to forcibly reach the cargo area, they would be met by an automatic spray gun inside the container. This spray is extremely thick and adhesive. When it comes into contact with a person, its adhesive material severely restricts movement, making it nearly impossible to walk or escape. If anyone were still able to remain inside the container after this, they would immediately receive an electric shock with a voltage 6 times higher than standard household electricity. It is also important to note that the entire convoy is continuously monitored by helicopters from above. When the fuel level of one helicopter drops, 2 other helicopters replace it, allowing it to leave its position. These helicopters carry separate backup forces on board, and they too are prepared to go to any extreme to protect the nuclear weapon. Because of all these layered security measures, the world's most dangerous weapon cannot fall into the wrong hands, at least not from the United States. Throughout American history, nuclear weapons have been transported thousands of times, yet not a single convoy has ever been successfully attacked. Hopefully, you will give USA Doc Video your full support by liking and sharing it. Thank you very much for your love-filled comments, and we will meet again in the next outstanding video.